Hi everyone, my name is Pi-Chuan. My mentee this year is Olivia Hu. Olivia is a 7th grader in Rachel Milpitas Middle School. During this mentorship program, we have worked on 2 types of projects. In one of the main projects, she has learned about programming in Finch robot. And the second type of project is HTML and JavaScript for web page development. I'm very impressed with Olivia. She's very well organized and made great progress on these 2 different type of projects. Not only did she learn how to tackle new problems in these projects, she also integrate her own interest when she designed these projects. I'm sure you'll find her presentation very interesting, and I'll hand over now to Olivia for her presentation.
Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm a 7th grader at Rachel Middle School, and my mentor is Pi-Chuan. My mentor, she's Pi-Chuan Chen, works as a software engineer at Google. She's born and raised in Taiwan like me. It's something we have in common. And she moved to the US when she started studying at Stanford. I'm very impressed by it since I know Stanford is a very hard college to get into. Her hobbies include going to the gym and walking her dog and also teaching. She really likes dogs and she has one of her own and also helps some rescue groups. Next slide, please. This slide and the next slide, it was my project for the previous midpoint presentation, so we can just skip that.
You want me to skip this also?
Yeah. My project is Crashy Bird. It's a game coded with Mako in the microbit from my Finch robot. And it's based on the well-known Flappy Bird game. The player can move the bird up and down to avoid obstacles. The more obstacles you avoid, the more points you'll earn. This project gave me the opportunity to explore game, array, variable, and loops function of the Finch robot. I learned about block coding, which is a drag and drop process that converts text-based code into visual blocks. While I use a tutorial to code the game, I understand the code and make adjustments to it. For example, I added a score system and I also changed the speed of the game. I used some advanced Finch code such as arrays and game to program the game. Next slide. This is my demo. On the left, it's my code. That's how I used to code it. On the right, it's a video of the Finch robot. It's a simulator that I use to record. The blinking dot, the blinking LED light, it's the bird. It's the bird that's moving. When I use the A and B button, it moves up and down. And the one that's moving, the 3 or 4 LED lights that's moving, is the obstacles. And every time I pass one, I earn 1 point. The A button is to move up, while the B button is to move down. And when I die, there's a game over part like this, and it also shows my score. And when I click the AB button, it starts over. Next slide. The Amazing Maze Runner. It's my second project. It's a Finch robot that I coded to use its sensors to avoid obstacles, the distance sensor to be more specific. I chose this project because I was always interested in how the Finch sensor works, especially the distance one, and I want to put them into use. I'm currently working on building a maze for the Finch robot out of cardboard. I love learning about robotics, and I enjoy exploring the functions of my Finch robot. I learned about logic, like if-else statement and comparisons. I also learned about variables and the forever loop. While I already knew some basic knowledge about them from programming in Scratch, the project expanded my knowledge of them. I also used the Finch moving and turning blocks. Next slide. This is my demo. On the left, it's the code I used. It's pretty simple. It's actually just, if-else statement that I can see, like if, for example, if the distance is less than, say, 8 centimeters, the Finch will turn. And on the right, it's the outline of the maze I'm building. Next slide. My third project, Fantasy Book Selector. It's an interactive web page hosted on GitHub, coded in JavaScript and HTML. Users can select which type of fantasy book they want to read about, like dystopian, supernatural, sci-fi, etc., and the webpage will list out recommendations. I chose this project because I love reading and I want to incorporate my knowledge of fantasy books into my project. I'm currently working on adding hyperlinks, an electronic link providing direct access from one distinctive marketplace to in a hypertext or hypermedia document to another in the same or different document, and pictures to my list of recommendations. I will add more books as I read them. I learned about JavaScript, or specifically DOM events. DOM stands for Document Object Model, variables, list, functions, and for loops. I also learned making web pages interactive with HTML and JavaScript, and some HTML elements like buttons or drop-down lists, which I previously didn't learn about in the Khan Academy HTML lessons. Next slide. On the left, it's a link of my webpage, and on the right, a video of me navigating it. Some examples, like I can choose an example like dystopian, animal societies, sci-fi, and I'll list out recommendations with the name of the series, the link to the Wikipedia page, and how long the books are. Like, for example, here is the Shadowhunter Chronicles and Harry Potter. And the Wikipedia page, since I'm still learning how to add hyperlinks, you need to copy down the link and put it onto Google. And there's also a button for select one, which is the default one, but if you click it, it won't show anything. My magical experience. Some highlights of my magical experience. When I finally finished the HTML and JavaScript Khan Academy lessons that I spent so much time on. When my mentor and I figured out what's wrong with the Finch robot. And some lessons that I learned. I learned how to make an interactive or animated web page with DOM, Document Object Model. And I also learned to be always careful with software and hardware. A problem that seems difficult to solve might actually be simple. It's actually from my personal experience. I mentioned in the midpoint presentation, when there's something wrong with my Finch robot when I receive it, but it's actually just because I didn't insert the microbit into it. So look, Finch robot won't receive any instructions or programs from the microbit. My mentor and I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, and we thought there's something wrong with the hardware, and then we also sent an email to some officials from the Finch Bird Brain Technology website. But then the officials asked to have us take a picture of the microbit, and she told us that we just didn't insert it into enough. And we wasted a lot of time trying to figure out. And after that, my mentor and I, well, especially me, I just feel sort of stupid because it's such a simple problem, yet we spend so much time on it when we could have spent them more on projects and stuff like that. So that's why I learned. Some challenges are when I was doing the Khan Academy lessons on HTML and JavaScript. I often encounter problems that I don't know how to solve, and I have to seek help from my mentor or someone I know who can help me. When I was working on Fantasy Book Selector, the list keeps showing the word undefined, but I debugged the code so that the project will show the list. Thank you for watching my presentation. Are there any questions?
Good job, Olivia and Sheetal here. I wanted to ask, which was your favorite one? You did so many projects. Which was the favorite one?
I think my favorite have to be the fantasy book selector since I just really, really love reading.
Good. Yeah, really impressed. You were able to do so many projects in such small time. Very nice. Good job.
Hi, Olivia. I wanted to say that I know that you didn't realize about the Finch robot in the microbit, but it's not really time wasted because you've learned a good lesson there. And next time when you get hardware and you put things together and something's not working, you'll actually remember this experience. So it's not time wasted. It's going to stand you in good stead in future. Great job.
Does anyone have any other questions for Olivia? Okay. Olivia, I just have a quick question. I'm also an avid reader, so I loved your fantasy book website. So what book would you recommend for us to all add to our to be read list?
Well, I think Percy Jackson's definitely one. It's just so funny. Really, really fun. And it's actually it's actually the book series that really got me into reading fantasy books. And it also helped me improve my English when I was new here. So I guess it kind of just holds a special place to my heart. The rest of it is also really good. But I guess Percy Jackson is just kind of a ultimate one for me.
Oh, well, wonderful. No, I've never read that series, so I'm definitely going to be adding that to my list. And I'll have to let you know what I think once I'm all done. All right. Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for your